Oh my God.
Programmet presenteras av betsave.com.
How are you? I'd like to thank everybody for coming to the post-fight press conference. You know, this reminded me of a kind of an old-school Strikeforce slugfest. We had a couple early submissions and an early KO, and then when the Josh and Gilbert fight started, it kind of reminded me of 2009 and 2010. And then when Daniel Cormier fought Josh, I think it was I think it's a historic moment in mixed martial arts. If you look at the 8 fighters that started this tournament and the winner crowned today, I'm very proud to announce DC as our champion. And yeah, it's been a great night. So I'd just like to open up for questions.
Fourth fight between these two guys or what?
Just real quick,
Scott, do you have that? No.
You know what? Let me tell you something. I personally could watch this fight every month, right? These guys put on a great fight that is going to go down in the history books in mixed martial arts, and it reminds me of those great battles. You know, let's say Sugar Ray Leonard and Tommy Hearns, or Edgar Maynard. I mean, just when these two guys had that chemistry to bring it, and they brought it again tonight, and they did not let me down or the fans or the company down. It was a great matchup, great fight, and you know what? I think that the trilogy is done, and we'll go from there.
Josh, can you make 45? No, not a chance.
But, you know, for anybody that said Josh did not deserve to be in there, I knew better when we booked the fight. I knew it was going to be a great matchup because these guys have each other's number. And I always said, look, anybody relaxes a little bit or doesn't bring their A game, it's going to be a tough night for them. And I think they both brought their A game tonight, and it was just an amazing fight. I'm proud of both of them. Yes.
Real quick, I just wanted to see if do you have a gate and attendance figure preliminary?
I don't, but hopefully we'll have something before the end of the night before you guys head out.
Okay. And just for Josh, are you okay with that? You know, sitting with, no more Gilbert Melendez fights with Gilbert Melendez.
Hey, I just do whatever the promotion tells me to. So if they want a fourth, then hey, they will do a fourth. If they don't, I move on to the next thing. I'm not trying to stir the pot and tell people what to do. I do what the promotion tells me what to do. So you line up the fights, and I try and knock them down.
Josh, in the 5th round, you took Gilbert in a spectacular fashion. You took him down, but you, needless to say, didn't do much after taking him down. What was going through your mind at that exact moment towards the end of the fight?
I believe there was like 30, 40 seconds left or something. I mean, obviously I felt like I was winning the round, so control the position, not give up anything crazy. I mean, he was landing some good elbows from the bottom, on my head, so I was just trying to control the position. I felt like I dominated the 5th round.
You had those chokes going. How close did you think you were there? How close do you think you were?
I didn't think they were close at all. The very first one was probably close, but then the rest of them, I just kept trying to dig and get underneath his chin. I trained with him for 2.5 years. I maybe subbed him 1 time or 2 times in 2.5 years. So in the fight, I kind of knew what I was going into. He's a tough guy, man. No matter how you cut it, no matter how you slice it, he's almost impossible to finish. And like I said in the beginning when we were doing the interviews and pressers for this, his biggest attribute about him is that he's mental. He's one of the best mentally strong fighters out there. I think that's what makes him so great.
Mr. Coker, you said that the winner of right here.
Okay, sorry.
You said that the winner between Feijão and Kyle would fight for the belt. Mm-hmm. Will you give the chance to Feijão now, and who will he face?
Yeah, I mean we haven't I haven't had a chance to talk to Sean and anybody in Las Vegas, but I think that the likely candidate that you'll see in the future at some point is Gegard Mousasi. When that fight happens, I'm not sure, or if at all, but I think that's a natural progression for Feijão to fight. I think it was a great revenge victory. Congratulations. And, from here he can move forward. But I know that Gegard has been injured, and we're going to wait for him to heal up and hopefully put that fight together.
For Gil, right here in front of you. Leading up to this fight, it was probably hard for you to be real honest about how hard it was to prepare yourself mentally. But now that the fight is over, Was this one of the more difficult fights of your career, just given the circumstances? The fans, you know, the hardcore fans know that Josh Thompson is a tough fighter, but a lot of guys just expect you to roll through these guys who are put in front of you in Strikeforce. So was that how difficult was that for you?
Yeah, people expect that. Josh is a tough guy. You know, I mean, I think I could have performed a lot better. Yeah, that's the thing. It's just the expectations up there. You know what I mean? Even if I win, you lose kind of unless you finish them or do it in spectacular fashion. But yeah, I'm all right with it. You know, we're in San Jose. Of course, they're gonna boo. You know? If I was in Santa Ana, I'm sure they'd be cheering. You know, if I was in Frisco, I'm sure they'd be cheering. But you know, it's tough to get motivated sometimes, just because it's like, you know, if I was on the other end of the stick and I got a good opportunity, it's a lot easier to get motivated. But yeah, you know, Josh is tough. I know he's a tough matchup, so it wasn't the easiest to get motivated. But you know, I got the job done, and I thought I was in control, and you know, so I was cruising it.
Josh, given the fact that given the fact that you did dominate the final 2 rounds, you know, what do you think finally tipped it in the judges' favor against you?
I mean, there's a bunch of things I could sit here and say. I mean, honestly, like I felt like the first round was a 10-10 round. I should have went out there and got it, you know. And you hear all the promoters talk about it. It's my fault. I left it in the judges' hands, you know. And that's what happens when you do that, you know. And the third round was close too. I thought I won the third round, and I won the fourth and the fifth. I thought the first round was a 10-10, you know. But whatever, dude. I mean, that shit crap happens. Trying to watch my cousin.
Josh, can you talk any more about some of the injury rumors that were going on before the fight? Again, it was something maybe you didn't want to address publicly before the fight, but now that the fight's over, was there something going on with you?
Nope.
Joe, were you hurt? Were you hurt leading up to this fight?
If you're 100% going into a fight, you probably didn't train hard enough. So I mean, no one's ever 100% going in there.
Mr. Daniel Cormier.
Hey, taking up my shot, dog.
Champ, you made it look pretty easy here tonight. Most people didn't give Josh Barnett a round. You want to talk about that?
It was tough in there. I mean, I don't know what you guys are watching. Look at my face. No, it was pretty tough. I followed our game plan, and Josh did a great job. He fought tough. He fought hard. He was in there in my face the whole time. I couldn't believe some of the shots that I landed on him, especially the 2 head kicks, and he was able to actually stay up. But I think I rebroke my hand in the very first round, so I kind of stopped throwing it, and then later in the fight I started throwing it again. Excuse me, guys. That's it. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
How long do you think before the hand will be healed?
I think this time I'm going to take a different approach. I think I'm going to have surgery on it and get it fixed, because I don't want it to be reoccurring and then end up costing me later down the line, you know. So I'm going to get surgery on it probably, and then normally when you have surgery, it heals a little bit faster. My hand healed kind of odd this time, and that's probably why it's not as bad as it was the first time, though, because the first time I could hardly I couldn't even move it, but this time it's kind of like I did in January. The same thing. I think it feels the same way. So if there is a fracture, it's very slight.
Are you looking at a fight before the end of the year?
Yes, I want to fight twice before the end of the year.
Do you think either of the corners picked up on the fact that both of you guys broke your hands? I mean, I saw you shake it twice, I think, in the third round. I noticed that. I don't think anyone else did.
Well, I mean, it's a matter of what you're going to do whenever it breaks. You know, you're in a fight. You got to be able to use all your weapons. So that's why I was kicking. I was punching. I was kneeing and elbowing. You got to use all your weapons. I mean, Josh was too good to fight handicapped. So I don't think my coaches picked up on it because I didn't tell them. I just kept fighting.
Did they pick up at all that Josh's left hand was hurt?
No, I don't think so, because nobody said anything to me over the course of the fight. The biggest surprise was when I took him down in the second round and he just kind of stayed there. It was very surprising to me how easy it was to stay in his guard because he's such a good leg lock guy. I thought maybe he would let me pass to his half guard or something. So I think that kind of I made an adjustment in the fight when I realized that he was going to allow me to control him on the bottom. So it was a little easier to set up my strikes because then he had to respect the takedown. So it changed a lot in the second round. That wasn't a suplex. That was a high crotch, man, high crotch. Kevin Jackson taught me that. Kevin Jackson, yeah, Olympic champion, my mentor. All you do is you run the pike, guy defends the dump, and then you just throw your outside hand deep in the crotch and just pop your hips. I was really surprised that he did a front flip, though. I didn't expect that. I think maybe he did that trying to roll under me or something. But the guy asked me if how much do I bench press, but it has nothing to do with strength. You know, it's all technique, and once you get to a certain point, there's really nothing a guy can do.
For Gil, Gil, how did this fight feel to you compared to the second fight you had with Josh? And was this the toughest fight that you've had, as far as stamina and everything like that?
You know, it was a tough fight. Yeah, man. Josh is a tough guy. You know, we know each other pretty well. I feel like I couldn't really unleash the beast tonight. You know, and I just kind of, you know, I felt like I was in control, and game changer was when he took my back, I think. But yeah, I mean, it was a tough fight. Josh is always a tough fight, you know. All these fights just get tougher and tougher, you know. I mean, every fight's the most important. Your next fight is always the most important fight of your life, you know. But yes, it was a very tough fight. Josh is tough, and it was a good fight, man. I think everyone was happy and excited and was entertained.
And Josh, there was a time during that fight where it just seemed you had this big smile on your face after one of the exchanges or something. And it seemed like you were just really into the fact that this was really a great fight. I mean, did that like cross your mind, or were you just focusing on winning, or how was it when the crowd was going crazy like that?
I mean, like, I started fighting in '98 for like $100. What I'm getting paid now, of course I'm happy. I'm out there, I love it, man. This is, you know, I love this job. I mean, I wouldn't want to get a real job ever, you know. So I love this promotion. I mean, I feel like I'm one of the guys, and with Gilbert, I think, and you know, Kung, we've piggybacked this promotion, threw it on our back, and try to keep it around, man. And we love it, and I love having a home to fight it. And this is a great place.
Wrestling for Chris Bank, Chris. Hell of a fight here tonight. I don't think people haven't recognized that. It's probably the fight of the night. I mean, that was amazing. Talk to us about it.
Whoa, 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 whoa! Fight of the night. Whoa, whoa, whoa!
All right. Stop it tonight.
Yeah. First of all, I'm so grateful and happy to be here today, and so grateful to be part of the main card with this amazing fighters here tonight. There were some great fights, and I'm so happy to be part of it. I've been training really hard for this moment, and just so grateful that Sean and Scott gave me the opportunity.
Was this show live in Sweden?
Yes, it was. My mom called me right after. My training camp, I expected to fight. I didn't get the call, but I expected to fight. So I trained hard and I had a good training camp. I sparred with the light heavyweight champion of the world in boxing, and people told me to take him down, but I don't know what they got the facts from. I'm a pro boxer from the beginning, so I felt confident standing up with him, and that's what I did. So I'm just grateful and happy that I came out with a win. Thank you.
For Feijão, you hit him with overhand right into the right knee, then you hammered him. What made you go for the guillotine? I mean, you kind of go for the guillotine. It's a little bit risky. Did you just feel he was dazed and you're very strong with that move, or what was going through your head to go for it? I mean,
yeah, I saw when he felt the first hit, and I go to the guillotine because I'm very good in this position.
How did it feel to get revenge?
Feels good. Yeah, I'm back on track. You know, I come back to Brazil, stay near. In my first fight with him, you know, I spent like 3 months here in the United States. You know, I training, but far from my coaches, far from my team. You know, these things make a difference. You know, this is for sure is not about me. It's about my coaches. It's about everything, all support they give to me. You know.
What do you think about possibly fighting Gegard as an opponent?
Right now, man, I just want to rest a little bit, you know, because I trained like 4 months. I leave these things with him, man.
When will the next Strikeforce card be in San Jose? Will Ronda Rousey be part of that?
That's still to be determined, but the next Strikeforce card will be July 14th at the Rose Garden in Portland, Oregon. And that's going to be, I think it was officially announced tonight with Showtime, and that's going to be Tyron Woodley fighting Nate Marquardt for the welterweight championship, as well as Robbie Lawler fighting Lorenz Larkin. and then Tim Kennedy fighting Luke Rockhold. So we're going to have some amazing fights in Portland, and that's going to be on the 14th, and we'll probably do another fight before the end of the summer, but still looking for the date and the location. Yes, I believe she will be fighting in that card, but it's not official yet.
So Larkin's going down to 185, where he kind of really belongs?
To my understanding, that is correct. Yeah, they're going to fight at 185. Which, that'll be an amazing fight because, you know, both those guys are going to be great stand-up bangers. It's going to be fun to watch. Anything else?
Scott, can you just comment on Daniel winning the entire Grand Prix? He wasn't even originally in the initial 18.
You know what? When I look back and I put this heavyweight tournament together, and you think about the great fighters, I mean, they're right there. They're right there on the belt. And Alistair was on there originally, but when Daniel took his place, and you know, we popped Alistair's name off and put Daniel's on there. But if you look at the quality, all those guys have been either a champion at the UFC or in Pride or with Strikeforce or with, you know, Pro Elite was Bigfoot. So these guys were all champions, I believe, except for Brett Rogers, but he's coming off a big win against Andrei Arlovski. But if you look at that heavyweight group that fought in this tournament, I think it's something that Daniel should be very proud of. And I'm proud of him, too, because it was 2 years ago. We were talking about this back when I was walking out with Bob. It was 2 years ago that Daniel and I met, and we met here in downtown Willow Glen. And Bob said, you know, I got this guy, and he's going to be, you know, the next superstar, we believe. And told me he had an Olympic background. He talked about he's a great athlete, well-spoken, charismatic. You know, I'm like, yeah, I'm sure. And we signed him, and I think that since that time, I've been following his, you know, progression, and I'm very proud of Daniel. And this is an amazing feat. I mean, come on, Fedor, Alistair, Bigfoot, Josh Barnett. I mean, you know, and Daniel fought a lot of tough guys in this tournament, so he didn't have it easy. And the thing about Daniel that I'm impressed with is that he comes from the Olympic wrestling, and if you saw his fight against Jeff Munson, you know, I'm thinking, who is this guy? I mean, he was a kickboxer when he fought Jeff Munson, and then today he was a complete MMA fighter. So I'm very proud of him, and congratulations, DC.
Thank you.
Not right now, But you never know. In this sport, you never know.
So what will be next for DC? Is it still a mystery opponent in Strikeforce in the future?
Yes, he'll have one more fight in Strikeforce, and that, you know, we're gonna wait for his hand to heal. You know, but hopefully before the end of the year, he'll have another fight.
What about Josh?
Josh.
Are you free to go over to UFC now? Or?
Yes, you know what? I think that's something that you guys should talk to Sean Shelby about, because I want to make sure you get the correct facts on that. So if there's no questions, you know.
This is for Daniel, and more Renell kind of asked this in the cage, but maybe you can elaborate a little more. I know that during your life you've had a lot of tragedies, and you've had a lot of near misses. I mean, between the Olympics and NCAA tournament, and was this the culmination? Like you finally really won a big one. I mean, is that kind of how you looked at this? Although you've won national championships and stuff before, how kind of put this in perspective?
Well, you know, like it's kind of hard because when you think about everybody's lives, we've all been through our trials and tribulations, and but you know, for all the negative things that have happened in my life and me getting knocked down and having to get back up, I think it all prepared me for this, made me a stronger person, and just, you know, everything's kind of turning around. Not only is my career going well, but I've got 2 young kids. I've got a great girlfriend, and my family life is perfect. My mom and them are here. I mean, it's just everything is on the up and up right now. I mean, all the negative, you know, losing my daughter, my dad getting killed, and you know, it goes on and on. You know, my teammate dying in a plane crash, or my roommate. All that stuff just prepared me, you know, for the good times. Because no matter how bad things get, eventually, you know, the sun is gonna shine, and if you just keep trying to live life the right way and try to just like pursue your dreams and goals, eventually it'll turn around and good things happen to decent people. I'm not saying I'm a good person or anything, but for a person that stays set on his goals, good things seem to happen. So we've all had our trials. So I mean, everybody deals with adversity. It's just how you bounce back from it.
Okay, Ryan, just let me know that there's not going to be any one-on-ones. So if you guys have a question, please ask it. Okay, thank you guys for showing up, and we'll see you guys in Portland on the 14th.
Programmet presenteras av betsafe.com.